G'day punters, welcome to the Mailbag Sydney Preview Show. We're looking ahead towards a pretty decent looking card there at Randwick on Saturday. There's a little bit of a wet track still to be sorted out in the next couple of days, but 10 races once more. And Mark Shean, we've got a couple of nice cards with Kenzo today, recording this on a Thursday, obviously. Kenzo today and then Randwick on Saturday.
Yes, another two highways that we can get our teeth into. I don't know why they maybe don't put them on the Wednesday. We had 6 races there at Wyong. But anyway, that's for the powers to be to work out. But yeah, 10 races and yeah, the 2-odd race looks a little bit interesting, probably down in class on what we've seen in the past at this time of year. But the rest of the card looks pretty strong. We've got plenty of runners in each race. That's the main thing.
Exactly right. Mark Rhoden, we're joining you with a patchy internet at best, so we'll see how things go. But you've obviously had a reasonably busy week so far, but the Randwick card on Saturday looks like it might be something that you might be able to find a few overs with.
Yeah, good. I haven't got through all of it yet. I haven't in the Quaddie legs. I haven't found a hell of a lot either. They're good races, but I've struggled to find any definition in them, to be honest.
Okay. Well, look, we'll start with race 7. It's another 10 race card. So race 7 is the first leg of the Quaddie, and Sally's Day and Lashes are joint favourites at the top of the market from Mission River and Human Nature. Mark Shean, I'll start with yourself. Most of the speed seems to be drawn wide here.
Yeah, there is. I think Partners probably from barrier number 6 will hunt through. I'm a Crumpet and Longbottom probably roll forward as well. Our Bellagio Miss will be on speed as well. Mission River can be a bit tardy at the start, so probably just off them. But probably Partners may go to the front here from barrier number 6. I'm with Lashes here. I'm prepared to say that she maybe didn't come up last time in after a good run first up. She does like a bit of cut out of the track. It's a beautiful day here as we're recording this now, but they are predicting plenty of rain on Friday, so that should worsen the track after we had some rain early in the week. So probably banking on around a slow track for Saturday. So I'm with 3 Lashes, and I thought Partners could run along in front with no weight on its back. Sally's Day, I'm not sure about it. It's a bit of perhaps a for mine. I'm prepared to risk it in race number 7.
Okay, Mark Rhoden, race 7, first leg of the quad. How did you separate the top end of the market here?
Not too differently from the actual market, to be honest. Lashes on top. From I didn't like her draw much, but she's a pretty good fresh horse. Sally's Day was just a run first up, but down and weight I was sort of left with her second. Mission River after being gelded. Human Nature's disappointed in Sydney a few times, but has some sort of chance, and Partners is the one that might just run along out in front, but I didn't find a bet at this stage.
Okay, race 8 on the card is over 1400. It's just a general handicap. Edison's favourite, drawn out wide once more, but again, should be settling thereabouts on speed from Hilo, Passage of Time, and a heap of horses to fill out the rest of the market. Mark Shean, seems like we're finding a few familiar faces here from the previous couple of months or so. Did you separate this lot in race 8?
Yeah, we do have some familiar faces. Irithea probably rolling forward. Cradle Mountain blinkers off. Probably has to go forward outside the lead. Special Mission and Edison on speed. Look, I thought Hilo was a touch disappointing at Newcastle, but I'm going to give it one more chance just back with a bit of cut out of the track and a bit of a freshen up. I thought it trialled quite nicely in the interim. That's worked out to be a fairly strong race at Newcastle, and perhaps the hard track was against it there, so I'm going to give it one more go. I don't know if I should be in the asylum or not. I think the interesting runner here for me is Badush, who certainly went to another level last time. He did fail at its last run when they stepped it up to 2,000 metres before it went for a spell, but it does normally race well fresh and does like a bit of cut out of the track. He's a bit chancy at the start, but I thought it was worth a spec at the odds. So I'm going to back Hilo and save on Badush.
Okay. Mark Rhoden, anything for yourself in race 8?
Probably not, again, not at this stage, but I have Hilo and Edison closer together than the market. So if Hilo's price gets a bit better, I could entertain it off the little freshen up and pretty quiet trial. Edison's one of these horses, he's come back in great form and he's dropping in weight, but he's not really got any turn of foot. He's just a sort of one pacer who rolls forward. Whether that weight drop's going to be much good to him up in class, I'm not sure. I think he's obviously a chance, but whether I want to take a short price about a horse like that, when I think the weight drop's probably being counted into his price. And away from that, a few you've got to take on trust. Order again. I raced really well during the winter. Didn't have much luck on a couple of occasions. Whether it's going to be ready first up, I don't know. Redouble back with Bjorn Baker. Just had the 2 runs, one of them being the Kosciuszko for Mitchell Bell. Now back with Bjorn Baker. They'll have to close that loophole before next year. But his best is up to this, but he was dreadful in the Hunter, and his trial since showed nothing, but he's just one on his best form that could win. But I think Edison Hilo are the 2, but I'd want a better price to back either at this stage.
Okay. Race 9, benchmark 88 over 1200. Big Parade is current market elect from Mo's Crown. Quaddie. Poetic Charmer was a nice run first up, and Threeud was really good first up, but then wasn't as effective there last up, but is on the quick backup. Mark Shean, which way are you angling here in race 9?
It depends on the track condition here. I thought Pandano had a good chance here, but he's only had one start in the wet and failed miserably. That was his second start in a race, so I'm a bit concerned that if the track does worsen with that rain tomorrow, I don't think I could come at Big Parade. I'd have to risk it personally. Look, I think Mo's Crown went a bit too fast in front the other day from a soft draw. I think he'd be able to take the sit here. And Poetic Charmer was very good first up. It has a wide draw, so you just have to see if sweepers are suited there. Look, if sweepers are suited, I'm going to back Poetic Charmer, and if not, Mo's Crown, if they're up on speed and down to the inside, I think he just might get a suck run behind them. I think it's an open race day. Yamazaki trialled really well on, when was that, Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember which day now. Cordia normally goes well fresh, but its last trial had me scratching my head a little bit. He didn't trial in blinkers, but his first trial was good. Second trial a bit flat, but he can sprint well fresh. So he's another one who likes wet ground. I think it's a hard race, but 4 and 7 are the 2 that interest me, and 14 Pandana if the track's not too bad.
Okay, very good. Mark Rhoden, anything for yourself there in race 9 at this stage?
Just on the grounds that it looks like they will go pretty hard here. I thought they might split up enough for Poetic Charmer to get in. It will depend on how the track's playing, which I've got to say I found very hard to work out. If you go back through about the last 4 meetings in similar rail positions with sting out or wet tracks, it's all over the place, the patterns. Some days it's up the inside, some days it's not, some days the fence is off. So that remains to be seen. If they're running on Poetic Charmer and Cordia, a couple that Mark mentioned, I thought they might be suited by the speed.
Okay, that brings us to the last, which is a benchmark 72 over 1400, and the market is just really struggling to separate the top end of the market. There's More Profits, Papal Warrior, Black Duke, Arabian Hussey, St Covert Spirit. They're all just jostling for favouritism, and it keeps going from there. Mark Shean, are you able to give us any help here in the last at Randwick?
Yeah, I got it down to 3. I thought More Profits certainly trialled really well before this preparation and won well, ran an outstanding final last 600 split of that race. Thought Black Duke was 1,000 to 1,300 the other day and would certainly strip fitter. And Arabian Hussey was the other one. Admittedly only beat Fillies, had Sandown last time out, but it's got no weight on its back here and does have wet form. So they're the 3 that I found. I'm probably going to land on Black Duke and More Profits and cut out on Arabian Hussey. So Black Duke on an each way basis for number 8, and I'll be taking on Paper Warrior here, who I think is a milk drinker.
Okay, very good. Mark Rhoden, who have you got marked on top there in the last at Randwick?
May come back to bite me, but I landed with the Melbourne visitor Arabian Hussey. Rated pretty well at Sandown last start. There's just so many examples of horses either, winning really well in Melbourne, coming up and failing in Sydney. But I think this is a pretty winnable one. This is far from the hottest 3 and 4-year-old race in Sydney I've seen. I think it's there to be won. I came up with More Profits and Covert Spirit and Black Duke as best of the rest, but half breaking one of my rules, but I think I'll back the Melbourne horse.
Okay. That brings us to the end. We'll run through any best bets on the Randwick card, best value plays, best lays as well. Mark Shean, I'll start with you.
I thought Bring the Ransom in race 6, number 6, would be a good bet on an each-way basis. She had little luck last time out. She won at Newcastle, and she had no luck first up, won at Newcastle, then no luck again. So I think the sting out of the track, she should get a nice run just off the speed here, and I think she represents a bit of value around the $6 mark. I think accountability, we get sick of mentioning its name, but it looks very hard to beat. And away from that, the last couple look pretty even sort of races, but I think Bring the Ransom looks a nice bet. I don't think you can do your money if you're backed it each way.
Okay. Mark Rhoden, any best plays at this early stage?
Not really. I'll just Arabian Hussy, I suppose, in the last. And if I can get Telstra to fix this internet before the first at Kenzo today, that'll be the biggest winner I've had for the week.
Okay. Speaking of Kenzo, Mark Shean, did you find anything that you really liked this afternoon?
I thought Brookspear would be hard to beat in race number 1, and Private Eye in race number 4. I know it was put on for him at Gosford, but he sweated up before the race and looked like he had improvement, and I think he's going from 1100 to 1250 would certainly be in his favour. He improved dramatically first up to second up last time in, so hoping that that's the case again this afternoon.
All right, beautiful. We'll put Mark Rhoden out of his misery there because obviously he's done very well given he can't actually hear anything. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining me. We'll catch up hopefully next week, and we'll try and preview a couple of races going in towards the Christmas Boxing Day period. But guys, until then, go well.
See you, boys.